Hi, Robert here with 21centurysmoking.com. We've gotten a lot of phone calls and emails on people that purchase our liquid that don't know how to use it or how to refill their electronic cigarettes. So here I've got three different types, and these are the three main types that are in the market today. The first one is actually a piece of junk that I got from 7-Eleven a few years ago. The cartridge just pulls off and slides over the atomizer. The roulette, which is our branded three-piece, the cartridge slides into the atomizer. And then you also have our blackjack, which is a two-piece with a cartomizer. And this is becoming one of the most popular types of cartridges just because it's very reliable, it performs well, and it's easy because it has the atomizer and cartridge contained on one unit. The drawback is they're a little bit trickier to fill, and I'll show you why. First, on the type of e-cig where the cartridge slides over the atomizer, you just want to pull straight back. You never want to twist the cartridges on the atomizer, otherwise you'll damage the atomizer tip as well as the cotton material inside. To get this out, you'll notice you have your mouthpiece, and you're going to just take a paper clip and stick in that hole, and voila, you notice a little pellet comes out. Now this is actually a newer cartridge, which is why you'll see it yellowish. This type has a foil on it that keeps it sealed until you slide it onto the atomizer, and when you slide it over, it breaks the seal and allows the atomizer to draw the liquid from the cartridge. This is a very poor design, not only because it puts a lot of wear on the atomizer by using it as a punch tool, basically, but it also keeps the foil in contact with the atomizer at all times and creates extra work because the foil acts as a device to draw power away from the atomizer. Basically a big heat sink. But you want to get as much foil as you can off of there. And what I do, if you get an odd taste after you refill your cartridge, you'll actually take the cotton material out of the cartridge, and I'm just dumping the liquid on this paper towel right now. What you can do is just get all the old liquid off, and if you've ever filled any of our other cartridges in the past, that's all the cotton that's in this cartridge, and it only holds maybe a few drops. What we can do is ball it up and push it back inside, and you want to leave it as close to the top as possible without having too many stray hairs on there. That way it's going to keep contact with the atomizer. What you're going to do is open your bottle of liquid and put it directly onto that cotton material, and you'll notice it'll sit at the top for a second and then slowly drain down. Very messy. And then basically after the cartridge is filled, drop it back into the cartridge, and then using the paper clip, put it inside the cartridge against the side of that pellet and force it all the way down. Some have been kind of tricky lately. Alright, that's all the way down. And you want to wipe off any excess liquid. This is a messy job for this style electronic cigarette, but it is better than buying brand new cartridges, considering they do last quite a while. And just slide the cartridge back onto the e-cig. Not a whole lot of vapor, but it is a mini cigarette. And if you only smoke a few cigarettes a day, this is not too bad of a product. But for the heavier smokers that still want a three-piece design, this is our roulette. And the nice thing is the cartridge just slides off, and that cotton material is right at the top. So you're going to place a few drops of liquid and let it absorb into the bottom of the cartridge. You should see it soaking down. A brand new cartridge will hold quite a bit of liquid, and as you use the cartridge over time, you'll notice that it'll take less and less liquid. Once you get to a point where you can only put, maybe 5 or 6 drops at a time, I would definitely recommend replacing it, even though you can clean this like I showed you with the other one. Now you'll see that glistening bubble of liquid in there. That means it has reached capacity and is actually over full. So what I do is just tap it on a paper towel, and all you want it to look is translucent. Some people say that you want it to look like cotton candy. But basically, just as long as there's no pooling at the top, that is the correct way to fill the roulette cartridge. Just slide it back on there. Alright, to get a new paper towel because this stuff is pretty messy. Here is our blackjack 2-piece cartomizer type electronic cigarette. Again, it's going to be very similar to the other 2-piece cigarettes on the market. The end that you inhale on will have a cap, and you can use a hook tool. This we took from a paper clip where it had the 2 arms that swing over. Comes with the pre-bent hook in it, and they work perfect. Unfortunately, this is from one of the little guys. The medium size works a lot better. But before I do anything, you want to stick your hook tool into the mouthpiece and just grab the back of it and gently pull it away from the cartridge, and it'll fall right on there. And you'll notice, like the other cartridges, if I can get a little pointer here, around the edge of the cartomizer you'll see that same white cotton material, as well as a hole in the center. The white cotton material is your wick that you're going to be filling the liquid on, but you do not want to get in that hole. Basically, if you do, it'll go all the way through the bottom into the other end and leak out your cartridge. You're going to hold the cartridge at a 45-degree angle, and with the dropper you want to just put it on the side And again, put a few drops at a time, let it soak to the bottom. And unlike the 3-piece models that hold about 10 or 15 drops, this will actually hold about 25 to 30, which is why cartomizers are becoming more popular. It holds a lot more liquid, so you refill them less. I'm putting bigger drops, or bigger quantity of drops in at a time, just to get this done. But you do want to take your time and make sure there's no liquid pooling at the top. You will notice that it will take longer and longer for the liquid to soak through. Right here, it's just now starting to pool. So I'm going to call it quits. Recap my bottle. And what I'd also recommend, double check the bottom of that, make sure there's no liquid on there. Another thing, if you can, double up a couple paper towels, do maybe 5 or 10 cartridges at a time, line them up standing up like this, and you'll see I just set it down for a second and liquid came out onto it. If you let these sit overnight, you'll prevent the liquid from going through the battery. This is the biggest reason why we get batteries that fail, is that people will fill them or overfill them, and possibly even fill them while it's attached to the battery, and the liquid that you see here goes right into this. Water is a component in the e-juice, the liquid, and this is an electrical item, and water and electronics don't mix. It's similar to dropping your cell phone into the toilet. If you were to fill this and get any liquid in that center hole, or even if you overfill the cartridge, it's like dumping your e-cig battery into the toilet. That's how I like to think of it anyway. When we open up the package, there's just liquid covered all over the battery. When we open the battery itself, it's flooded, and unfortunately, when we turn these into our manufacturer to get credit, they will no longer credit us for flooded batteries because it is not a manufacturer's defect. And this may be the same if you have another manufacturer's electronic cigarette, if they offer any kind of warranty at all.